In this lecture, we're going to learn another method in becoming the man in the middle. Now, in the previous lectures, we saw how we can use the bad USB attack to force the traffic through our device when we physically connect it to any device. That allowed us to read all packets, modify them, and do whatever that we want with them, because essentially all the traffic that is sent or received to the target device will be going through our device. We also learned how to do IRP poisoning, which allowed us to become the man in the middle as well. And we were able to do the same attacks that we can run with the bad USB attack, because again, the packets will be flowing through our device. Today we're going to learn another way of becoming the man in the middle. This way is actually really simple. We're going to create an access point. So it's the same way that sometimes you use your phone to share your 3G connection. A lot of the phones now, they come in actually built in with a feature that allows you to create an access point and share the connection that you have on your 3G through Wi-Fi. So you can connect your phone from another phone or from a laptop. Now, when you actually do this, your phone is the server and your phone is the router, for example, which means that all the packets that sent from any device connected to your IP will be sent to your phone, because your phone will actually go and get that request and give it back to the client. So you actually don't need to do anything to become the man in the middle. You're already the man in the middle when you create an access point on your phone. So the simplest way to do this is literally just use the feature that comes with your phone, create a hotspot, and then you can use any of the methods that we did with the bad USB attack. So you can start T-Shark and start sniffing, or you can start doing DNS spoofing, you can do SSL strip, you can do all the attacks, you can even do the scenarios that we talked about and we will talk about that apply to you when you are the man in the middle. The only thing is that just make sure you actually use your wireless card when you start sniffing or when you want to do DNS spoof. So make sure you actually choose LAN 0. So that is your wireless card. I'll show you how you can see that. You can see that from your Kali menu. So here, if I go on my Kali menu, you can see that my wireless card here, it's called LAN 0. So that's the one that you'd want to use when you're sniffing. I'll show you another way of checking your wireless card. So if you go on terminal, you can run Airmon engine and it'll list your cards. And as you can see here, my LAN 0 is my wireless card. So that's the one you'd be using when you're sniffing. So using your hotspot, so creating a hotspot from settings and sniffing it using DNS spoof and ARP spoof, using DNS spoof and SSL strip and T-Shark like we did with the bad USB, you can do that. Or you can use Zanti right here. And from Zanti, if you click on the Zanti menu and you go on the Z-Tether, now this will show you a menu that is actually very similar to the man in the middle menu that we saw. So this menu is actually very simple. The only difference is that when you click on the on, it's going to create an access point. And you can enable SSL strip, you can do DNS spoofing, you can replace images, capture downloads, replace downloads. We explained all these with the ARP poisoning feature of Zanti, so I'm not going to explain them again because it is very similar. It's literally the same. So you go on the settings and then you can enable it by tapping on the on or off. You can also see the log requests by clicking on the view, and we saw how we can use that as well, the logged images and all that. We had a look on it with the man in the middle. The only problem with Zanti is that it only allows you to share your 3G connection. So if you're using a tablet that doesn't have 3G like mine, or if you just don't have 3G connection, you will not be able to use Zanti. Because Zanti basically tethers your 3G connection to your Wi-Fi, exactly like what happens when you go through settings and you create a hotspot. Now what I'm going to be showing you in future videos is using a tool called Mana Toolkit. Mana Toolkit is very cool because it allows you to use two wireless cards if you want. So you can use 3G, but I'm actually going to be using it with two wireless cards for the reason that if you have a 3G, you can use Zanti and it's much easier and much simpler. But if you have two wireless cards and you want to use Mana, then we'll see how you can use that. And you can basically create a fake access point or a hotspot which people can connect to. They'll have internet access, and whenever they log in to any website, so you'll be able to get their logins, their usernames, their passwords, you'll be able to do DNS spoofing and all that cool stuff because you're the man in the middle. So again, I've said that in previous videos. When I say you're the man in the middle, you can replace the attacks, you can mix the attacks. If you have an idea of a different attack, you can do it. As long as the packets are flowing through your device, the method is not important. So as long as you are the man in the middle, all these attacks that I'm going to explain in this section, you can apply them to ARP poisoning, for example, or you can apply them to the bad USB attack. So the method of becoming the man in the middle is not important. As long as you are the man in the middle, you can run these attacks.